So the Finance Committee, I'll call the Finance Committee meeting to order, and we're going to go with right on time at 8:30, September 10th. First item on the agenda is receipt of reports. Uh, the first one is the accounts paid report for the period ending July 31st, 2025. And I'm going to combine that with the executive summary financial report for the period ending the same time, July 31st, 2025. Ms. Solano, thank you for the documentation and support that you sent along and was attached. Um, Anybody have any comments or questions? All right. Ms. Solano, I think we're going to let you off easy because we're going to be hearing from you a lot in the coming month and 2 and 3 on the budget. All those in favor of accepting the accounts paid report and the executive summary financial report, say aye.
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 Thank you. I don't believe our finance officer is here, Mr. Lieberson. At least I didn't see him, but attached to the agenda tonight, as usual, he did a very nice job of submitting updates to us on where the various tax receipts stand. I actually had some questions for him, so I'll get in touch with him directly. My question was, just for the public, as far as the real estate, the stormwater, and the refuse fee, whether he had any projections for the year end. I'm a bit uncertain as to how those receipts come in during the year, since I know all three of those get billed at the beginning of the year. In contrast to the EIT tax, which comes in during the year. Okay, anybody have any questions or comments on the finance officer report? Not seeing any. I'll move for acceptance of that report. And I'll once again take the president's task and say, all those in favor say aye.
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 Information technology, not that Mr. Rubin was off this month, but there's no report attached. He continues to be very busy keeping everything running smoothly from an IT perspective. So I'll go on to grants. And there's a substantial grants memo report that's attached. Ms. Brinker or anybody, Township Manager Elliott, tell us about the grants report, and I also have a question about it.
Sure. Yeah, so we're working through all of our grant projects. It's never a dull moment, even though the spreadsheet may not reflect a lot of changes. Doesn't mean that the projects aren't being worked on behind the scenes with respect to design or planning or construction. But we are moving forward and considering grants for this fall. We have the DCE flood mitigation program project that we're seeing. We're looking at a library grant through the Keystone Communities program. And we are looking at the RACP program, which opens, and the local share account, which are both pretty significant grants that we'll probably be pursuing a number of different applications for this year. Hopefully we'll be fortunate and be able to fund most, if not all, of those projects. We're looking to fund a lot of our facilities through those programs. This RACP program grant is the second round, so it's for projects that are already on the itemization list. But we also earlier this year applied to get onto the itemization list with a lot of our facilities projects. So yeah, so if you have any questions, I'd be happy to talk with you more.
So with the assistance of Commissioner Ziegmanfeld, who couldn't be here tonight, I have a couple of questions. So the first one is to you, and that is regarding the Tookenny Creek Bridge at Carter Lane. Are we submitting to federal, state, or county uh, to get some funding for that $3.5 million project?
Yes, we are working with Bowman, our engineers, to apply for, seek out and apply for any grants that are available. One of the opportunities we're looking for is to get on the Transportation Improvement Program, which is a long range program from the state, which lists all road and bridge projects throughout the state and provides state funding to us. So that's a pretty significant dollar amount. We've used it for the Ashmead Road Bridge, and we also have that funding for the bridge on Tookaney Creek Parkway by Jenkintown. So that's one of the major sources that we were looking for. Just because it's not in this list yet doesn't mean that we don't have that on our sites and a number of other
Okay.
opportunities.
Thank you for that, because I did see we've been successful in getting funding, as you just noted, for those two previous bridges. So without being overly confident, I'm certainly hopeful and confident that we and you will succeed in getting us funding for that Tookaney Creek Bridge.
Yes, absolutely.
So a question, I'm not sure if it's for Ms. Brinker, but stormwater, it probably is uh, stormwater grants. Uh, Commissioner Zygmunt is noting that there have been no grants awarded so far in 2025.
Yeah, I can answer that. We do make application for the grants when they become available. So it's usually generally 2 to 3 periods of the year where grants are applied for. We have a large summer or spring and fall with some summer grants. So a number of them were applied for in the spring and summer. So we usually don't hear back on these grants until later in the year. One grant that we've been working on, we expect, I think it's through the Commonwealth Financing Authority. They have a meeting scheduled in November. So they're working to announce those grants sometime after that meeting. And that's generally when we usually hear. It usually takes about 6 months or more to hear back on an application.
Okay, thank you. Uh, and Ms. Salerno, I'm going to back up to you for one question, and that is on our Labor Council bill, Eckert Siemens monthly bill. It looks like it was about $40,000. The question is that typical or,
I think that was specific to the employee handbook work,
okay, so
not typical.
that's completed now and
Mhm.
they were submitting their bill.
And I can jump in on that as well. I think they are handling some litigation work with us for the commissioners. So that is also what makes their bills significantly more expensive than they ordinarily would be if they were just handling labor costs.
Okay. I'm sure we'll discuss that a little further when we're talking about the budget for 26 and what kind of legal expenses we might be projecting for 26. So I'll hold that off till those budget meetings, which are open to the public. We have our budget meetings coming up, so they are open. We try and be as transparent as possible with the budget. Um, as Mindy mentioned, taxes and our finances are always a concern in the township. We try and do our best to minimize tax increases, but we have some substantial budget challenges. So I welcome the public to come out to those meetings and give any input that they have on their ideas on how we can control our expenses. Having stated that, um, anybody have any questions on the grants report or any Not seeing any. I will move for adjournment. All those in favor